Hi, welcome to Pico Playtime, the video series where I play through some cool Pico 8 games to show to you lovely people. Today's game is called Abandoned Bog by Joeamerica Gayms. And as you've noticed, I should look over there because that's where you're looking. My monitor's over there though. As you can see, the game is already running. Now often when I do these videos, I waffle on for a few minutes at the start of the video before I run the game. However, today, because I'm actually running the game in itch, it just goes straight in. So, this is the game we're going to have a look at today. It's called Abandoned Bog. It was made for RNDGAME JAM. The last two videos that I've done have been games from that game jam made in Pico 8. Very quickly, the idea of the game jam is that you pick a random name that is generated by the program that the organizer of the game jam, Mr. Tom Hall, wrote. You pick 10 names, or you get 10 names, and then you pick the best one. And Joeamerica Gayms went with Abandoned Bog. And that's it. You get a name, and then off you go. You make a game. So you've got a lot of freedom in the game jam to make whatever game you want to make. So, Joeamerica has decided that he was going to make an adventure game. Now, this was a real surprise in the game jam. Usually when I look at game jam games, normally you'll have very kind of stripped down, usually quite kind of simple, kind of arcade games often, because those games are very easy and quick to set up, and they work. What you see far less often are more kind of slower paced, well in this case an adventure game with quite a lot of text and interesting little interactions and things. So that's why that's how it got my attention, and that's why I wanted to highlight it. Also, it's got a real cool sense of humor, which I really like. So that's why we're having a look at this game today. So let's have a read of the description before we get playing it. And you can marvel at the... Sorry, I'm looking the wrong way again. I really should swap these monitors round. You can marvel at the title screen, which I'm not looking at because I'm looking the wrong way. Anyway, we'll explain what's going on with that title screen in a little bit. So, very short description this. A broken down car, a lost dog, and now a ghost keeps asking you for favours. So this is a funny little adventure game, and yeah, I think we should get cracking with it. So let's press X to start. Let's have a little sip of tea. Lovely. So look, we've got a little intro. We've got ourselves a little bit of a story going on here. The car broke down in front of this abandoned bog, and we've got some dialogue options. This is what I mean about you do not see this very often in game jam games. It's got a very simple dialogue system. Yeah, nice inclusion there. So what have I got? What can we do? Or go check the engine. Let's ask, what can we do? I'll see what's going on. Now, there are, I think, are they deliberate spell mistakes? I don't know. Some of the spell mistakes are pretty funny, though. So, fuck you, or this place is creepy. This place is creepy. Spot, come back. Oh, dear. Spot the dog has run off. Come back, Spot. I'll go get Spot. Yep, I'll go get Spot. Please get Spot. Yeah, I think the dialogue's pretty funny. There's a real kind of odd sense of humour with this. So, moving around. You move around left, right, up and down. There's no diagonal movement. We have got a huge... I say huge. We've got an ordinary-sized Pico 8 map to explore. Now, that's spooky, isn't it? We've got a skull, and we've got what appear to be some berry trees. More on that later. So yeah, we can move around the map, and this is kind of an adventure game. We've got to kind of find some items and talk to some characters. Now, it's only a very short game, this. It is made for a game jam after all. So I'm going to play through one of the... I think there's 2 endings in the game. Well, put it this way. I found 2 endings in the game. There may be more. And again, you do not see that very often in game jam games. Multiple endings. So, you know, these are all things which I wanted to highlight in the video. Before we leave this area, can we just marvel at some of the lovely pixel art in this game? I love that car, and I love these little characters, how they animate. Very nice. So we've got a rather brightly colourful kind of Well, this is like a garden, isn't it? With some kind of hedges. Let's go through here. Oh, we've got a building. Now, obviously, I played through this before. I played through it before I do the video, so I kind of know what I'm doing here. If you're bothered about spoilers, and, well, if you think this game looks like something you'd be interested in, just stop the video now and just go and play it. The link's down below. You don't need me to tell you that. Because I am going to kind of spoil the game, but I want to show you as well. Anyway, there's Spot. Somehow Spot's got over this fence, but we can't get over this because we're in a video game and we can't climb over things. So, when you walk in front of an object we can interact with it by pressing X to enter the house. So, let's enter. Now, this is a really cool thing in this game, something that I like. When we're in the house, it switches from outside, we've got a kind of top-down view. Inside the house, we have this really interesting side-on view. So if I go upstairs, you'll see what I mean. We're kind of looking at the house, kind of side-on, like a platformer. Now, I'm trying to think of games that use this kind of view that aren't platform games. I can't think of many off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a really obvious one that I'm missing. The game that it reminds me of, though, this is a deep cut. It's the Home Alone game for the Mega Drive or the Sega Genesis. Yeah, in that game, you got to go inside houses and you were going to put side on like this and you had to stop the wet bandits. Yeah, that's my reference point. I'm sure that Joeamerica was fully aware of this Home Alone game when he made this. I'm sure it influenced him somehow. Or maybe not. Anyway, there's our key. You found a key. Pick up the key. Okay. And look, we have got a backpack. We've got an inventory system in this game. See all the little details that have been added? Did you notice as well the sound effect when we picked that up? Again, and I keep banging on about this, but with Game Jam games, a reason that I don't often review them on this series is that I try and highlight games in this series where it's kind of like a good game. Well, obviously I want to highlight being a good game, but I make my own Pico 8 games. I'm not going to just... I could do videos and just highlight cool things that I see and like as a developer. Oh, there's a blue thing there. Interesting. But really, the whole point of this video series is to kind of highlight games that a kind of general audience would be interested in playing. So you don't have to be as into Pico 8 as I am to appreciate this. And it's little things like a sound effect when you pick up a key. Little things like that are often missing in Game Jam games. And that it's kind of like polish, isn't it? You'll hear game developers talk about adding polish to a game. It's little things like that. Because then you know that when you pressed the button to pick up the key, the sound effect tells you, yeah, you've probably picked up the key. Sometimes you can press buttons, things happen, and you don't know what's happened. Now, I've just spent about 2 or 3 minutes just talking about how important it is to have a sound effect when you pick up an item. You know, but when you play Game Jam games, you often don't get that. You often don't get any sound. I mean, this game doesn't have any music, which is fair enough. It's disappointing when games don't have music, or Pico 8 games, because Pico 8 game music sounds so nice. But I can understand if developers aren't musicians, or if they just didn't have time in a Game Jam to add some music. However, little short sound effects like that are very quick to add, and they add a lot of polish to a game. So there you go. I'm going to move on now and stop just talking about sound effects when you pick up a key. Another little quality thing. Have you noticed how when you change level, the camera pans? Again, it's just a little touch like that. You get used to super rough around the edges Game Jam games where it would just flick straight up and it'd be disorienting. A little short animation like that, all that it needs. Just a little camera movement. Anyway, let's move on, because otherwise I'm going to be sat here for about 20 minutes talking about all these silly little details. But here's the thing, the silly details add up to make the game good. I'll keep talking normally now. Right, so I've got a key, I can unlock the door. You found a rope. And look, the rope goes into our backpack as well. So now we need to find what to do with the rope. Now, I say we need to find... I know what you need to do. You need to go here to fix the dumbwaiter. The dumbwaiter doesn't have a cable in it. So use the rope. Now we can go up the dumbwaiter. And look, there are some stairs. Ooh. And there is another key. So, let's find where we need to use this key. Yeah, I really like this moving around the house like this. It's just such a nice... It looks so cool. Can we just take a moment as well to appreciate the cool graphics in this? Look, there's little pictures hanging on the walls, there's cracks in the floor, cobwebs. You know, this looks like a spooky old house, doesn't it? In the middle of the abandoned bog. Right then, so we've got a door here. Let's unlock that. Okay, so we've got stairs down. We've also got stairs up. Now, when you play the game, you can go up those stairs and you'll find something very interesting up there. But for spoiler reasons and for brevity, I'm not going to go up there. I'm going to carry on looking for my dog. I don't think... Well, I know where the dog is. The dog was outside in the backyard, wasn't it? The dog is not upstairs. You can go up there, though. You might want to do, though. Anyway, here we go. Backyard door. Enter the backyard. Okay. Oh, look. There's our dog. So we found Spot. Mission accomplished, right? Well, perhaps not. If we have a look around the abandoned bog... You've got a cave. Oh, there is something interesting here. We can't get across this. There's a chasm with what looks like a bridge that's collapsed. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to go across there? Come on, Spot. Follow me. If we go over here. Now, this is interesting here. We have got a little maze full of all these berries. Now, I happen to know that these are cranberries. Now, who says games can't be educational? I found out through playing this game that cranberries are harvested by growing them in a kind of an area like this and then flooding that area with water when the berries are ripe to collect them, because the berries must float. And then I'm guessing you can use a net or something and skim them off the top. That's how you harvest cranberries in the real world. I didn't know that. I learned that from this game. So that's cool. Look, there's another item here. A strange mask. Let's pick it up. How strange. So yeah, in the real world, let's just go through this. I can show you what I mean. Go through this maze. Don't you like the animation, the walking animation? That's nice, that. Nice little detail there. So look, we've got some sort of sluice gates here, and we've got a kind of mechanism there, a pulley. We could lift that up, and it would flood this area, and then we'd be able to collect all the berries. If we were harvesting cranberries. Don't know why we'd be doing that, because we're looking for our dog, aren't we? Why would we be harvesting cranberries? I don't know. But I don't want to spoil the game, because this is a fun little adventure game, and you want to experience it yourself the first time. You don't want to know what's coming. You want to be surprised. So yeah, here's a reservoir full of water, which we could use to flood the cranberry field down here. But I'm not going to do that, because I'm looking for my dog, aren't I? And there he is. There's Spot waiting for us faithfully. Good dog. Right, let's go back through the house then. Ooh, it's following us through the house. How nice. So yeah, you might have seen then that Spot the dog. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. You might have seen then that he can kind of get stuck on walls and things, or kind of float through the walls. You know, little kind of little details like that might be missed out in a Game Jam game. You see here, look, yeah, you can kind of go through hedges. But I'm willing to forgive that, because this is a Game Jam game, and also the rest of the game is just so darn charming. Anyway, you found Spot. Yes, I did. So let's get in the car. Back in the car with Spot. Off we drive. Cranberries harvested 0. You survived. Game over. How mysterious. So, I don't want to play any more of this game. Not because I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy it. And I wanted to highlight it. To show you this game to play. But I don't want to play the rest of it, because I don't want to spoil it for you. So if you think this game was pretty cool, let's reset it. Lovely splash screen there, by the way. Love that logo. So yeah, if you want to play Abandoned Bog by Joeamerica Gayms, click on the or type in the itch link down below. I usually put a link in the description as well, so you can just click on that. Can't really click on a video, can you? Yeah, have a play of the game. It's fun. You can blast through the game. You can get both endings in. Well, I've been taking it very slowly, talking about sound effects for ages, for about 15 minutes. You can get through both endings in that time. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. Cool little casual game on the Pico 8. Anyway, that's it for the video today. Only a shorter video because I wanted to leave some for you to discover. Yeah. Check out Joeamerica Gayms' other games on itch and follow me on Twitter for other fun indie dev goodness. Yeah. That's it. I'll have another sip of tea. And then I think I'll finish things off. I've told you what I needed to do. It's like I'm giving out homework. Yeah, your homework this week is to play this game. Sorry, that game. Really need to swap these monitors. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the developers, check out the game, check out my other videos. I don't think I'll be doing any more videos for Random Game Jam, unless something really pops out to me and says this needs to have a video made about it. But yeah, if you go to the itch page for this game, you can click on the little link at the top and it will take you to the page for RNDGAME JAM, where you can check out some of the other games that people have made. Mine's amongst there as well. I'm not going to do a video on my own game. That would be a bit self-indulgent, wouldn't it? Anyway, check out the other games in the jam. Some really good ones. And yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. And I'll see you again very soon.